IFRS 1 First time adoption of IFRS. Scope. IFRS 1 does not apply to entities already reporting under IFRS. IFRS 1 applies to the first set of financial statements that contain an explicit and unreserved statement of compliance with IFRS. IFRS 1 applies to any interim financial statements for a period covered by those first financial statements that are prepared under IFRS. General requirements. Select IFRS accounting policies using either IFRS that are currently effective or one or more IFRSs that are not yet effective if those new IFRS permit early adoption. Recognize, derecognize assets and liabilities where necessary so as to comply with IFRS. Reclassify items that the entity recognized under previous accounting framework as one type of asset, liability, or component of equity, but are a different type of asset, liability, or component of equity under IFRS. Apply IFRS in measuring all recognized assets and liabilities. Recognition and measurement. Optional exemptions. IFRS 1 does not permit these to be applied by analogy to other items. An entity may elect to use one or more of the following exemptions, which provide specific relief on adoption of IFRS. Business combinations, share-based payment transactions, insurance contracts, fair value or revaluation as deemed cost, use of revalued amount as deemed cost for event-driven fair values between transition date and date of the first IFRS reporting period. Deemed cost for assets used in operations subject to rate regulation. Leases, cumulative translation differences, investments in subsidiaries, joint ventures, and associates, assets and liabilities of subsidiaries, associates, and joint ventures, compound financial instruments, designation of previously recognized financial statements, fair value measurement of financial assets, liabilities at initial recognition, decommissioning liabilities included in the cost of property, plant, and equipment, financial assets or intangible assets accounted for in accordance with IFRIC 12, service concession arrangements, borrowing costs, extinguishing financial liabilities with equity instruments accounted for in accordance with IFRIC 19, extinguishing financial liabilities with equity instruments, joint arrangements, severe hyperinflation, government loans, stripping costs in the production phase of a surface mine in accordance with IFRIC 20, stripping costs in the production phase of a surface mine. Mandatory exceptions. IFRS 1 prohibits retrospective application in relation to the following: estimates, derecognition of financial assets and financial liabilities, hedge accounting, non-controlling interests. Accounting policies. Use the same accounting policies in the opening IFRS statement of financial position and throughout all periods represented in the first IFRS financial statements. Those accounting policies have to comply with each IFRS effective at the end of the first IFRS reporting period. Changes in accounting policies during first year of IFRS. If between the date of an entity's interim financial report prepared in accordance with IS 34 interim financial reporting and the issue of its first annual IFRS financial statements, an entity changes accounting policies and or adopt exemptions. The requirements of IAS 8 accounting policies, changes in accounting estimates and errors do not apply. The reconciliation between IFRS and previous GAAP has to be updated. Repeat application of IFRS 1. An entity that has applied IFRS in a previous reporting period but whose most recent previous annual financial statements do not contain an explicit and unreserved statement of compliance with IFRS must either apply IFRS 1 or else apply IFRS retrospectively in accordance with IS 8 accounting policies, changes in accounting estimates, and errors. Opening IFRS statement of financial position. An opening IFRS statement of financial position is prepared at the date of transition. All IFRS are applied consistently across all reporting periods in the entity's first set of IFRS compliant financial statements, that is, both the comparatives and the current reporting period. If a standard is not yet mandatory but permits early application, an entity is permitted but not required to apply that standard in its first IFRS set of financial statements. Presentation and disclosure. An entity's first set of financial statements are required to present at least three statements of financial position and two statements, each of statements of comprehensive income, income statements if presented, statements of cash flows, and statements of changes in equity, related notes, and in relation to the adoption of IFRS, the following: a reconciliation of equity reported under previous accounting framework to equity under IFRS at the date of transition to IFRS at the end of the latest period presented in the entity's most recent annual financial statements under previous accounting framework. A reconciliation of total comprehensive income reported under previous accounting framework to total comprehensive income under IFRS for the entity's most recent annual financial statements under previous accounting framework. Interim financial reports. In addition to the reconciliations above, the entity is also required to provide a reconciliation of equity reported under its previous accounting framework to equity under IFRS at the end of the comparable interim period, and a reconciliation of total comprehensive income reported under its previous accounting framework to total comprehensive income under IFRS for the comparative interim period, and explanations of the transition from its previous accounting framework to IFRS. Any errors made under the previous accounting framework must be separately distinguished. Additional disclosure requirements are set out in IFRS 1. Thank you.